broadcast live. So you can join us at youtube.com/beefvegan or any of our social media pages on the Rock 102.1 Facebook page, YouTube. And I already said all that stuff. In studio, we got Herb Stratford, film critic extraordinaire, and of course, founder and organizer of the Tucson Film Festival that's happening this weekend. Correct, Herb?
Yes, correct.
All right.
This weekend.
And you brought a very special guest along with you. Many of you know him straight off the bat from Napoleon Dynamite. We got the one, the only Efren Ramirez, who's also DJing the event this year. DJ Efren Ramirez is his DJ name. As I asked, I feel like we could come up with another DJ alias before the show is over.
DJ Vegan Beef.
Oh, no. You owe me money on that one. Yeah, like F Ron, you could go like that style,
F Ron. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, it's not working.
DJ Pedro. Hello. I hope you voted for me. I'm going to play my music for you or something.
Right off the back. Yeah. So you hear Powers in the background getting excited. So we're talking about the Tucson Music Festival that's happening. The Tucson Film Festival that's happening this weekend. Plus, what other new releases are out that's worth seeing and what's worth avoiding, and so much more. So you can join us on the podcast broadcast or keep it right here because we got more Beef Vegan Presents next on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right. We are clear. We're still on the podcast broadcast stream. So unfortunately, I looked at my clock and I got like 6.5 minutes of commercials. So that was super quick. So when we come back, we're going to get into the details and the nitty gritty of the Tucson Film Fest.
Film Fest Tucson.
Film Fest Tucson. Well, that helps if I say it right. And Powers.
There's
Powers.
a Tucson Film and Music Festival.
I hate to do this to you, right? Because I get it, but there's not too much side talk you can do without the microphone. Okay, I know, because then it's again just in the background. We're just hearing, we're seeing your lips move, but we can't hear you. Soon, and he said sure. By the way, if you're watching the stream, so soon we're gonna have like a new studio with extra microphones, and when I say soon, I mean sometime before Napoleon Dynamite 2 comes out.
Sweet.
Yeah. So in the next couple of years, they ever talk about that as a possibility?
Yeah. It's funny because we do this tour all over across the nation.
Yeah, you've been doing speaking tours. People have been digging that, to going out and seeing you guys talk about the process of the film and all that. And that's got to be fun for the super fans out there, which there's lots of.
Yeah. And people have been asking for that. And it's like, if you ever make a sequel, you gotta honor the first film and its story, and you gotta go, well, what would happen 20 years afterwards with the characters?
Right.
It's important. And it's got to be different. It's got to be darker.
Yeah. Well, that's the trip about Napoleon Dynamite. The whole time of the first watching, and I'm like waiting for it to turn very dark, right? And then it ended up being very sweet all the way through. But every couple of minutes, you're like, Uncle Rico's going to stick a finger in somebody's butt, and that never happened. When you read the script, did you have any moments going through the script where you're like, okay, when's this going to go full Donnie Darko?
I thought about Sparkles in Motion. Once you read the script, you got to go, well, what's the point of it and what's the lesson? And the lesson was having to find, your own self, trying to figure out life, and that's the thing about Napoleon. You think about Pedro, it's like there's hope. He's in a new place and he doesn't have any friends, and they have that friendship, kind of like Midnight Cowboy.
Right.
In that friendship, they help each other's dreams come true. And I thought, like, wow. That's what the point of the story is, that you could have your own voice and just figure life out. You don't have to know everything, but with a little bit of friendship, with friends, things can work out.
Nice. Was it difficult for you to play that kind of loner type? Because I know that you're a twin, so you never have been in a situation where you went to a new school without someone there because you had your doppelganger right there.
I mean, I don't know if you know this or not, but the actor John Heder, who played Napoleon,
he's a twin too.
A twin as well.
Yeah. Did you guys immediately bond over that?
Wait. I mean, no. Hey, you're a twin. I'm a twin too. My first day was meeting him. He was dressed up as Napoleon. He was like, "Hey, are you Pedro?" I'm thinking, like, what kind of movie am I going to be doing?
Yeah.
But like, after 18 years, I mean, it's been 18 years and it holds strong. I mean, to the audience, to the crowd, and from John Grice to John Heder, we're brothers.
Yeah.
Uncle Rico, Napoleon, Pedro. When people see us on stage, we're really like, I don't want to say a Three Stooges, but it's like a vaudeville act now.
Yeah.
So, I love those guys. And I mean, John Grice, who played Uncle Rico, is in White Lotus now.
Yep.
Heater has a film coming out in November, and we're always working. But when we get the opportunity to be together, I mean, it's like going home with your brothers.
Yeah, it's weird how you can get that magic and chemistry. People, first off, you never met, you never know how you're going to capture that lightning in a bottle. And this was a situation where it was lightning in a bottle. You know, one thing I think that gets overlooked a lot because everyone wants to talk about Napoleon Dynamite, but I think a movie that was far underrated, and it's probably because Dane Cook stars in it, is Employee of the Month. I thought that was a good movie.
It was a great movie. I love that film.
Yeah.
Jessica Simpson and Sean Whalen and Dak Shepard.
Eddie Dick. It was
it
was a jam-packed cast and a super fun premise. It made me want to work at Costco. You know? And if that's the takeaway, if I'm like immediately running out to apply at Costco, that's a goddamn good movie.
It is. Beef, you could always be my home slice.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, and they actually talked about wanting to make a sequel. Dak Shepard wanted to make a sequel, but everyone got so busy.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, why do you think that underperformed? Did it underperform technically? Because did Dane Cook backlash? It started to happen around that time, right before that movie came out, or
I don't know. I mean, I was just so busy working either on stage doing theater or working on film projects.
Yeah, well, I think it's a cult classic now, and it definitely holds up. So if you guys haven't seen Employee of the Month, check it out when you get a chance. You'll
Dane Cook, he's now famous for dating a 15-year-old.
Yeah. You still talk to Dane? Yeah.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
No, she's 18 now. He just groomed her. Totally fine. Just groomed her.
That's exactly right.
But okay. But was it as fun as it? The movie comes off as super fun. Was it that fun shooting the movie? Employee of the Month again.
Yeah, it's like because you're shooting in Costco, it's you're doing late night hours. You know, you got to work when everything's closed. So we would go in at 8 p.m. and come back to our places at 8 a.m. It's all nighter.
Yeah.
So Red Bull became your friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
More coffee, please.
Yeah,
let's go. Find the funny.
That's great. Yeah, they couldn't build up a set of Costco. They just took over Costco in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and I got to say, it's funny. When we were shooting Employee of the Month, there was a moment where we're doing a scene and we passed by this entire huge rack of Napoleon Dynamite T-shirts and dolls. And I'm like, what? Like,
that was in Costco
in the movie.
Yeah,
move it out of the way. It's like, you're everywhere, bro. I'm like, not my fault.
That's amazing. Did anyone try to? You have any B-reel or outtakes where somebody just put the Pedro doll behind you while you're shooting your scene?
That would have been lovely, right?
That would have been good.
If I was like on a sledgehammer with Dak Shepard.
Yeah.
Somehow it just made it in.
Right. Now you're going to be DJing, and we'll talk about that on the air here in a little bit as well. On the after party event, how long have you been DJing?
I've actually I did a lot of raves back in Los Angeles.
Back in the 90s?
Back in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, before Napoleon Dynamite, it was my day job or like my night job. Then during the daytime, I would go to acting school, so it would pay for my school. So once Napoleon Dynamite hit, I became a celebrity DJ. So it's like when I DJ around the world, people would go, "Okay, we know he played Pedro. We know he's an actor, but does he know how to DJ?" I'm like, "Yes, I do."
Right.
So my older brothers used to be DJ, and they taught me how to mix.
Nice.
So, you know, from genres from hip hop to house to electro to top 40 to new wave. You know, my job as an artist, as a DJ, is to really entertain the crowd and make sure that you read the crowd and you play to what they want.
Right.
So this has been the film festival, right? I'm excited to see, you know, who the crowd is and go,
Yeah.
What do they want? Maybe some Lady Gaga, right? Some Lady Gaga with NSYNC.
Okay, can I give you a tip?
I don't know about the NSYNC part.
Yeah. Can I give you a tip? Because I DJ, I know you're DJing like hip clubs and Ibiza and shit like that, but I've DJed weddings and corporate events. Yeah. So, you know, same difference. Less Molly, you know, less. There's still some Molly. Yeah. So this is my advice. This is the DJ trick that I do when going and DJing in front of a bunch of strangers. Yeah. You look at the collective age, right? And you try to guesstimate what age what year they were 16, right? So you look around that. So if you look at the collective room and they're all a bunch like herbs, so you're like, okay, Frank Sinatra was
Here we
big in
go.
52. No.
Here
All
we
right,
go.
no, but essentially
Yeah.
you're looking for the average year that everyone was around 16 years old, because everyone's favorite song is when they were 16 years old, the coming of age, the adolescence and stuff. You play songs around that era, you mix it in with the new stuff, they're going to be coming up to you like you're the best thing since sliced bread. Because again, those are the songs they know. People stop kind of listening to new music and falling in love with songs as they get older and life gets in the way and they get unhip. Unlike me, I still listen to new shit all the time. But
Well, when I DJ, I'll do some Queen and mix it with Bad Bunny.
yes,
I from Bad Bunny into like Cardi B to Nicki Minaj right to Cyndi Lauper.
yeah,
So it's like you really give them a little taste of something new and something old, and you really entertain the crowd. And so it's always, for every DJ, we all know that it's always about the crowd.
Yeah.
If you're not capturing the crowd, so if you're not capturing the ladies, and you got issues, bro.
What's your favorite DJ moment as far as the location in the club, where you just felt like not only were you on fire, the crowd was amazing, and it was just one of those kind of magical moments?
It's either Canada or Australia, because there I am in front of thousands of people
Mhm.
playing electro, and on the wall they're playing Napoleon Dynamite, and it's amazing that the crowd's like chanting Pedro.
Yeah,
They're really dancing to real hard house.
nice.
And it's look, Napoleon Dynamite, since we're talking about this, it's an independent film,
Right.
where these guys just took a risk. So when you're talking about electro music, it's new genre of music, so it's experimental, and you want to give something that's fresh and something creative. So when you do that for a large crowd, everyone's just so invested into each other and into that vibe, and that's what you want to do, is create something new.
Yeah, that's amazing, and with a little something old in the background, and
Yeah.
that nostalgia factor. So that's fantastic. So it sounds like you're having a great time with that, and you're still doing stage acting and things. What have you been doing as far as acting work in recent years?
I gotta tell you, I did a FBI Most Wanted, and I play a really bad guy.
Nice.
So the rule is this: is to do a comedy, and then I jump into something completely different. So
Right.
I was in Lightyear with Chris Evans.
Yeah, nice.
So that was sweet, and I was like, all right, I need a drama. And then FBI came up, and I'm like, all right, I'll do this. I play a real bad guy.
Nice.
So
Yeah, ever want to play like cartel roles or anything like that? Because like Narcos, and there's so many great stories that are coming out from the last 30 years, of course, of tragedy, but
yeah.
that leads to great stories.
Well, I got to tell you, I was offered Narcos, and
Yeah?
but I turned that down because I did Perpetual Grace with Ben Kingsley,
Oh,
Sir
nice.
Ben Kingsley, and I played an astronaut, and Luis Guzman.
Okay,
Like,
nice.
to work with those guys, Jimmy Simpson. So what a great cast.
I like that too, because you're like, hey,
Yeah.
we got an option for you. You could play a Mexican drug cartel, a member, or an astronaut. And you're like, yeah, I'll play an astronaut. Fuck you very much. You know what I mean? So,
The stereotype, like,
yeah.
dude, yeah.
Right. That's awesome. Nice. Well, all right. Well, we're going to be getting into Film Tucson.
Film Fest Tucson.
Film Fest Tucson.
Film Fest Tucson. Yeah.
Film Fest Tucson. You can shout that out sometimes, Sarah Powers.
Right.
You can help me in the background. You can't open your mouth sometimes. I'm sorry. He's doing so well.
He is.
Let's go to the Carlin cam, the Powers and Carlin cam. There you go. All right. I'll shut up. All right. So Film Fest Tucson. I'm just kidding. Again, I just needed 4 microphones, but I'm sure we'll have Powers get on. And actually, what I'll do a little bit later is have Herb and Efren team up as a team to play against Powers and Carlin.
Yeah.
And we'll play a little game here. So
Sure.
yeah, get that. You're like, what did you bring me to, Herb?
Yeah,
And we're gonna have a good time, Efren.
Beef is like it's 4 dudes at a cup. What are you doing, guys? What are you doing? I'm nervous.
It looked like a real radio station. We pulled up. I don't know.
Or in the broom closet, So yeah. Film Fest Tucson. As far as new releases, which one is there anything you're excited about coming out this weekend?
Well, let's take a look. We got Halloween Ends, which I'm not super excited about.
You know what? I'm surprised you said that, because there are Stephen King liked it. He said it was respectable.
I'm just over old school horror. I'm like, you know what? I loved It Follows. I love The Witch. You know what I mean? I just I like.
You need to pronounce horror better. I mean, this guy always does that.
Retread.
Yeah.
Hara.
I don't want to retread this stuff. Actually, you guys are not going to probably think this is that interesting, but it's called Onoda, 10,000 Nights in the Jungle, and it's about that Japanese soldier that was in the Philippines for 27 years after World War II ended, thinking the war was still going on.
Yes. Oh, actually,
It's a
wow.
I do
fascinating
remember
movie.
that. No, that's great. I do remember that story.
Yeah.
When it started breaking the news and reading up on that. So they made that a movie, a fictional movie or documentary?
Yeah, well, it's a narrative. So I mean,
Narrative,
but
okay.
it's like it's amazing because I mean, it was part of the zeitgeist, right? I mean, I remember on Gilligan's Island they made fun of it. There was like a guy that came out of the jungle and they're
Yes.
like, no, the war's over. So it's a fascinating film. It's like 2.5 hours, but it's really good. So that's great. It's a great comedy special. It's just dropping on Amazon Prime by Robert Mack, who actually is a Tucson comedian, and his new special's dropping this week.
Oh, okay.
He filmed it at South Point, which is pretty cool. It's called Mac to School, and I was actually there in July when he filmed it. So
That's
cool.
why you're bringing it up. This fucking name dropper.
No, I'm not.
Yes. That's okay.
No, but honestly, Film Fest Tucson's the big thing this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, obviously. I mean, it's all about Film Fest Tucson, and we're really excited about it. Just this is an annual event that Herb's been a part of and putting together and organizing, bringing culture to the city of Cine. I've lost that word. But what year is this? Like
this is our sixth one.
Sixth annual. And of course,
Yeah.
COVID made a little pause in between.
Yeah.
Or we'd be on number 7 or 8.
Yeah, we'd be on 8.
Yeah. But it's fantastic. Super proud of you. And this one is probably going to be bigger and better than years prior. So
Yeah.
We'll be talking about those special features here in just like 20 seconds. In fact, actually, we're going to extend our on-air breaks a little bit more. So less cursing, Herb Stratford. Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'll try and keep it in my
Yes.
less blue. Yeah, we don't want to work blue. We
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
guest in the studio. We can't do that.
That's true.
That's
true.
Take care of my mental health, please, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. That is true. I mean, we have Efren Ramirez, who is most notably from Napoleon Dynamite, which is probably the all-time greatest clean comedy as far as film. And then he comes to the studio. I start immediately dropping F-bombs and D jokes. So I apologize, Efren.
Yeah, just say 2 Hail Marys and call me in the morning.
I will, definitely. And Efren's here because he's DJing after party for Film Fest Tucson, which Herb Stratford actually whips together each and every year. It's a 6th annual, and this is a fantastic event that happens in downtown Tucson. We're going to get into all the details because, it's Herb bringing culture to this city. And if you're a fan of films, which I know you are, then you definitely want to check out Film Fest Tucson. What do you have on the agenda this year? And it kicks off today, right?
Yeah, it's tonight. We got all kinds of great stuff. I mean, we have things that are film and music. We've got things that are film and food. We've got a silent movie with live music. I mean, lots of great stuff. We've got a documentary about this Pez dispenser smuggler. That's a super cool story. So we're doing that for free.
Either you mentioned that or I saw this news story. I think you did mention that because this Pez dispenser smuggler was making thousands of dollars smuggling European Pez dispensers.
Yeah, and actually he made like millions of dollars. I mean, it was like so basically the story is the wall came down, right? Eastern and Germany the wall came down.
Yeah.
And this guy realized, smart guy, he realized that there's Pez, the way Pez is set up is there's Pez USA and then Pez World. Right?
Okay.
So there's things in the United States you can't get. You can only get in the rest of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, you know what? The wall came down, the factories in like Eastern Europe or, right over there, right across the line. So he's like, so he flies over there. He goes to the back door of the Pez factory. He's starting, paying the guy out of his pocket, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you got
backdoor
for me,
dealing.
right?
Yeah.
I only want, the weird ones, right?
Mhm.
And so he comes back to the U.S. with 2 duffel bags full of Pez dispensers. He starts selling them for like thousands, like literally $10,000, $11,000 per dispenser, right?
Is this before eBay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, how is
So
he
it's-
finding the
you know,
clientele
it's-
for this?
Well, he's going to conventions and he's like, doing stuff online. He probably
Okay.
had like a MySpace page or something,
Uh-huh.
and so he's doing this, right? Well, all of a sudden, the Pez people, the Pez USA, the President, which is what he's called. He's actually called
my
the
God.
President,
Oh,
right?
No.
So he's like, wait a minute, some dude's making a bunch of money off our product. That stuff's not supposed to be here. So they set up cameras at the factory. They're trying to figure out who he's talking to. They're trying to undermine everything he does. So it's this whole like espionage story of this guy, and he's like fighting, corporate, Pez, right?
Right.
To make money. And they talk to all these collectors and they're like, well, yeah, I spent $40,000 on one dispenser. I mean, it's just like crazy that these people were so obsessed, but it's great pop culture. It's sort of like espionage because there's all these reenactments of him in the dark alley and them following him around. And it's crazy. It's a crazy story. It's free. It's at Main Gate tonight at 6:00. And The first 150 people there get a free Pez dispenser.
Oh,
What?
nice little promotional tie in there.
Right?
Did you get a clearing from the president, or are you gonna get your kneecaps broken? Because they sound like a goddamn mafia.
They are.
Like,
They're the
come
candy
on.
mafia, man.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it is absurd that somebody would spend $40,000 for a European Pez dispenser when they could spend that amount of money to go to Europe themselves and just buy it at the grocery store, right?
Yeah, but it's like sometimes people they're obsessed with something, right? You know what I mean? And if you love something and you think there's only like 3 of them or something, you're like, oh yeah, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool thing. And
That
then,
guy's brilliant.
if you're a foodie, Phil Rosenthal from Somebody Feed Phil, you guys know that
Yes,
show on Netflix,
absolutely.
#1 travel and food show on Netflix. Phil Rosenthal is here. He's going to be here on Saturday night. He's debuting the episode from Croatia, which is a really great episode. It's going to drop next week. And so we have a special sneak peek of that. And Phil and I are going to talk for a while after the screening. So that's really cool that Phil's going to be here. And doing a silent film with live music. And then, of course, the rap party with Efren spinning is going to be off the hook.
Yeah, where is this rap party?
So it's at the playground.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Up on the roof.
The
And
playground reopened?
not yet.
Oh,
It's on its way. We're maybe one of the first events that's taking place there.
Oh, you're
So-
reopening the playground.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, Efren, you're going to love the playground as far as the venue. Going to be on the rooftop of 4th Avenue. It's super nice up there. Sound system's pretty good. It'll be nice and bumping.
Yeah, we're gonna go do a sound check at 2, so he's gonna get a look at the space.
I'm hoping for like great lasers and like a big light show.
He tried to get on the plane with
Wow.
his laser. I'm just gonna tell you
Yeah.
right now.
Did you get denied with the laser? Did you try to do
Well,
it on
I-
a carry-on?
I thought about it, but then I heard when they told me it's gonna be at a rooftop. I don't want to be that guy. I think it's gonna be like a massive rave. And they're like, "What's wrong with this dude? Trying to connect to ET or what?"
Yeah.
So
They can pack in about 500-600 people maybe on the top there. I don't know what the
Really?
capacity is. Well, maybe it's 300.
Yeah,
it's
like 3. I think.
But which is
if it's 300, then you put 1,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Eh,
totally.
Nice and hot.
You just
yeah.
triple it. Yeah, totally. No, and I will say, just to not get anybody have any false hopes. This is not just like a general admission thing. The VIP, it's a VIP thing, so it's a limited thing.
Oh, so we're plugging something that nobody can show up to.
No,
That's amazing.
No, that's not true. It's not nobody. Not
How
nobody.
do they get into it?
Well, they need to.
Well,
have
you
a
stand on 4th Avenue and look upward and say,
Yeah,
Pedro,
exactly.
please acknowledge me. Oh.
You gotta have a VIP pass, or
Uh-huh.
know somebody. So
Pedro, throw down your hair.
Yeah.
Okay, or something.
But yes, that is a Film Fest Tucson happening all this weekend. Filmfesttucson.com.
.org.
.org. Oh, yeah, because it's a nonprofit.
Yep.
That makes sense. We're going to continue this conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. There, you can join us on our social media pages or youtube.com/beefvegan. While you're there, smash that button. Huh? Yeah, I said it right. We'll hit the reset. Be back with more Beef Vegan Presents right after this. All right, we are clear. Somebody's calling right now, so let's see who we got on the phone. Rock 102.1. Who's this?
Hey, it's me, Daniel, man.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Daniel?
Hey, I was trying to see if you guys could hook me up with some tickets to your VIP event on the playground.
Yeah, it's pretty soon. I mean, hell, you never know unless you ask, right, Daniel? So, Herb.
Yeah,
what-
I figured I'd try.
yeah.
You know what? We'll do it. We'll do a giveaway of a pair.
Oh,
But we gotta open it up. We gotta be we gotta be
I'll look at him being fair.
democratic.
Okay, so here's the deal, Daniel.
So the early bird doesn't get the worm.
Yeah, exactly. The guy who really came up with the idea has the odds stacked against him. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, dude, it's Pedro from freaking Napoleon Dynamite. Like, that right there is a selfie
He
for
has
the
it.
picture. And then
So-
it's like, VIP only? Well, might as well ask.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
no,
true.
You guys
Yeah,
have to
and
hook
look,
me up.
If
Be
you
like, I'm a
win,
big
you could
fan.
be a very important Pedro.
Yeah. You got that as a t-shirt yet?
Yeah,
Yes, you got it. Yeah.
I started here in Tucson.
That's out there. That's out there.
All right,
I've
Daniel.
been pretty lucky with you guys in the mornings winning stuff, so I'll
Yeah.
take my chances.
Yeah, you'll do pretty good here, Daniel. We'll announce that here in a little bit on the show before 10 a.m. When we give away those VIP passes. So that's from the kindness,
Yeah, man. I'm
courtesy of her.
I'm out here walking.
Yeah.
I listen to you guys on my headset.
Right on, brother. We'll keep listening. We got some fun stuff coming up.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
I know.
take it
worries.
easy.
All right, take it easy. I lied. I don't know if we have fun stuff coming up. I'm just
Hey
kidding.
man, Efren's here. It's gonna be fun no matter what we do.
Of
Even if
course.
you make me play a game that I'm guaranteed to lose.
You're not guaranteed to lose. With that attitude. Yeah. With that attitude, you would definitely lose. Efren, what have you been
Yeah.
watching on the streaming services lately? What are you a fan of?
Oh gosh, dude. I haven't.
Are you not watching? Do you not watch TV? Are you one of those actors that read books and shit?
I do. No,
Okay.
It's I was working on a play called Rabbit Hole, and then once I was done with that, I jumped on a film in Seattle.
Okay.
And after the film in Seattle, I went to New York to work on the show. So and it's like when you're working on a project, you're so invested into the character and the character's world. I'm not saying I'm a method actor, none of that.
Right.
But you really have to understand who that character is, so that when anybody who's watching me work and is going to believe the character in that role.
Yeah.
But I will tell you I am drawn and wanting to. I've been wanting to see that the guy who ate people up in Milwaukee.
Oh, Dahmer.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Dahmer.
yeah.
Oh my God, I started
Yeah.
watching that this week, just as in the background, and I mean literally. And I'm not a big Ryan Murphy fan, but that is so effed up.
Ryan Murphy, yes, it is. It gets disturbing.
Oh my
Of
God.
course, there's been backlash from certain communities saying they're glorifying a serial killer, which is essentially what Hollywood does. It's great watching, and I would suggest that for the next role you take, make sure it's a character who has Netflix, because they got some good stuff out there. So you want to get all method and watch the Netflix.
I had auditioned for Marilyn Monroe, but and at the
For
Army.
Oh, Blonde?
Blonde?
But she got it instead of me.
Oh, Ana de Armas.
Alright,
You guys
yeah.
do have the same eyes. So yes, I mean, you gotta see that too. I mean, it is sad and disturbing, and you got kind of like, you get like a shame boner in it, There's I know. But Ana de Armas's portrayal of Marilyn Monroe
Yeah.
is so stellar and transformative. Like, I don't see how she can't be nominated for multiple awards during award season. Am I wrong, Herb?
No. I think the trick is, and I'm sure Netflix did this. I wasn't following it very closely, but it had to have a theatrical run, right?
Yeah.
So they probably ran it in New York and LA, right?
Right.
Just
Well, I
to
mean,
be
it's hard
qualified.
because it's NC-17, right?
Yeah, but I mean, does
Oh.
anybody really care? I mean, you know what I mean? As long as it runs, like, it doesn't matter if the theater's empty, as long as they had a screening for, I think it's a 2-week minimum or something on both coasts.
Right.
But I think you're right. But I think what's going to be interesting is, there's the whole thing behind the scenes of like, who is the studio picking to push? You know what I mean? Like, it's like I was talking to somebody at IFC the other day, and they were talking about, there's this movie called Corsage. That's a really great movie with Vicky Creeps in it, and they're like, okay, we're pushing her for the Oscar. Like, the studio told me that we're going to campaign, so they're going to spend a lot of money. They're going to have events. They're going to send out stuff. So does Netflix say? And a lot of times, honestly, it's a gamble. They're like, okay, do we think we can win this? Are we willing to invest, right? Say a couple $100,000 in trying to get this award for her. Do you want to work with her again? You probably should.
Yeah, you definitely
know
want to
what I
work with her
mean?
again.
So, but the thing is, they got to look at the field. How many people are, like, what are our odds? I mean, it's like, it sort of takes the
I would hope
business.
I would
right?
hope, yes. And as a business, I would hope her agent, had the balls enough to put a stipulation into the contract if she was going to do this role, that they would, campaign for her for Oscar and award consideration, because, it's a risk. Reading that script, and it's a risk, considering it's showcasing the dark side of Marilyn Monroe's life and a lifetime of sexual abuse and all this, like, there's a lot of heavy tones throughout the entire film. And then wrapped up in all that is this performance that you feel like in times you're watching Marilyn Monroe. I didn't know Marilyn Monroe personally, but she didn't have that Cuban accent, which haters online were saying that she had. She looked like a doppelganger, a hotter version of, if that's possible. Yeah.
No, I think so the Oscar is probably the only one that I would question. I think there's no question it's going to be Golden Globe nomination. No question it'll be Critics' Choice and, some of the other groups. But the Oscar, it's a crowded field. I think that Netflix believes in it, although I will say it dropped off their top 10 pretty quick.
Well,
People
it
stopped watching
is difficult to watch.
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
Yes, it is. I get that. I mean, people, especially if you have any experience with that, and so I can't even imagine for the female audience. And I saw a lot of the Twitter reactions to Blonde, and they're like, 15 minutes in, I can't watch this anymore. And it wasn't even that bad, but from an outside perspective, you're just kind of watching, oh my God, that's terrible that she went through that. But imagine if you actually went through that, then it's impossible to rewatch that, because it's bringing up all these scars and trauma.
Well, and you think about too, like, a lot of viewing decisions for streaming are made by women, right?
Yeah.
They say that. And
In my
so,
house, especially.
and so think about it. Like, a woman is going to watch a woman being, totally, abused. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not a good time. A lot of times, like in my house, at least my wife's like, I don't want to watch something stressful. I just came from work. I was all
Right.
stressed out. I want to watch something that's a little bit, more, I don't want to say happy, but you know what I mean? I want to be like broad. Like, we don't watch crime procedurals at our house or hospital dramas because we're like, we've had some of that stuff in our life. We don't need to watch glorifying, horrible medical trauma. You know what I mean? That's not entertaining to me. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying for me, so if women are making the choice and they're looking at Blonde, right? Or they're looking at something with, The Rock in it or whatever, maybe they're going, oh, we'll go with that guy, I don't know.
The women would want to watch Halloween. Ends.
Halloween Ends.
Halloween Ends,
Right,
yeah.
that's true.
They love horror
Like
films.
a man in a mask. I love it.
Yeah.
Or they like the revenge because, because her character, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, is constantly beating Michael Myers, right? I mean, not for good, but I mean,
This time supposedly for good till next time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she said this was the last one. But again, we got to remember
For her.
Exactly. She didn't do all those crappy in between ones. Right.
Right.
So they'll probably, and this is Blumhouse, they smell money and they're going to keep making them as long as they can.
I guess, but yes, and Stephen King did go on the record saying, "Hey, it was an appropriate way to end it. If they ended, they did a good job." So he felt like they stuck the landing. Did you hear about this Art the Clown movie? Was it Terrifier 2 or what's it called?
Yeah, Terrifier 2. The black and white clown, who kills people.
Yes, yes.
So I haven't heard about this. What is it?
This movie supposedly is so traumatic that people are passing out in theaters. That's the takeaway from this. And we played the trailer of it just the other day, and it does look creepy for sure, and it's gory. But yeah, now there are multiple reports across the country that airing this film not only comes with a warning, but theater managers have been having to call in, special, the paramedics and things to people just full blown passing out, fainting, watching this movie. So there's definitely some scenes in there that are so gruesome that it's becoming legend. And to top it all off, people aren't hating it. It was something like 87% on Rotten Tomatoes, 91% like audience score. So 87% critic score, 91% audience score for Terrifier 2.
They say the character is going to be like, he's a classic. He's like Freddy Krueger. This monster is going to be around.
It's a clown though. Yeah, I mean, it's not like anything new, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I had not heard of that.
Art the Clown. Yeah, it's creepy. We watched the trailer yesterday. We tried to pass out. It didn't happen.
I saw the trailer last night before I went to bed.
Yeah.
I needed to fall asleep on.
Did you have nightmares?
I was like, "Where's my clown?"
Efren was just a heads up. Efren was on the Congress last night. He was out having a little love burger and hanging out.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
Efren's he's around, man. And I will say Efren is very gracious. Efren is not just Pedro. And that's like really important for people to remember that.
Yeah, I would hope.
An iconic
well, I guess
role.
most people don't, right?
No, but it's an iconic role. But then, the thing is like what you do as an actor, and Efren and I were talking about this, you want to do different roles. You want to sort of be able to play different things. And so it's great to have that iconic character that everybody knows you for.
Right.
But that was also not the only thing he's done. So, people are very gracious. He's very gracious about like people taking pictures and stuff, but be cool.
Yeah. That's good. And did you enjoy yourself on 4th Avenue walking down Congress?
I did. People were pretty cool. It's like,
were you getting recognized, or could you walk down the street and not, you maybe get like a double take, like, wait a second, that guy looks like, but no one's really thinking that Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite's walking down 4th Avenue.
Well, no, when they see me, they do the double take and then they approach me. And so that's always funny. And what you want to do, I mean, what the cool thing is that, I played a character that people loved, so you never want to be in a very popular film where you play that bad guy or the jerk.
Right.
Then they just like, they just snicker at you and they stare at you like, get out of here, dude. You
Yeah.
don't belong here. So it's like, yeah. But when people see me, they're like, hey, yeah. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm like, how old are you? 50. I'm like, hello, lady. Why is she brushing my hair?
Yeah. What's the creepiest interaction you had with like a female fan?
Oh yeah, do tell.
Gosh. Okay, look. Since you brought it up, since you asked.
Yes, thank you.
When I did Employee of the Month,
Mhm.
like I told you that we were doing night shoots. So all the actors were staying at the embassy suites in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Well, one morning I went back to my place and there was somebody sleeping on my bed. And I thought so I ran out of the hotel and I thought like maybe I had walked into the wrong room.
Yeah.
And then I went downstairs and I spoke with the manager, and the manager said, "Oh yeah, your girlfriend wanted to surprise you." And we thought like, "Oh, how sweet." At that time, I didn't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I went into the room like, how do I approach this? So and there was a blue bag, and in that bag there was the DVDs and the action figures and the T-shirts of Vote for Pedro.
Right.
And she apparently a radio station had did this competition on who could do the most wildest thing for and get some proof from a celebrity. So I thought like, okay, we went downstairs and we had breakfast, and I signed the stuff for her, and I said, all right, see you later.
Yeah. After you
But-
banged her.
Oh, dude.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I had breakfast with her. And we had to go on a date first, you know. So
Yeah. You had to get to
so-
know her. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's like the things people do, just just to I don't know.
Was she a decent? Was she a good-looking girl?
Yeah, she was hot.
Then we know the answer. That's good. Yeah.
She was- not gonna lie. It was like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Like,
sweet.
Rockwell 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're hanging out with Efren Ramirez and Herb Stratford. Of course, Powers and Carlin are in studio too. We were talking about a crazy story, Efren experience of a female fan surprised him by being in his bed when he got into his hotel room, which reminded me of the story. And she turned out to be hot. But then he respectfully just, ate breakfast with her. I got to know her and probably gave her a high five, and that was it. Wink. All right. So, but with that, it did remind me of a story, because you're not alone in this situation. Steve-O once told a story during the height of Jackass that he came into his hotel room one day, and there was a girl naked waiting for him, and she actually climbed up to the balcony, and he was like on the 5th floor, and somehow like scaled the wall to get in there and surprise him. And he was all shocked. He's like, "Oh, this crazy stalker chick." And so after he banged her, right? So
Which
that's
he probably did.
that's he's straight up on the record says that. So, and like it's kind of a weird scenario where you're like, well, I am single, and I mean, you're not totally crazy, because on a scale of crazy and hot, right? But either way, just fun stuff that you experience through that. And of course, Efren Ramirez is going to be DJing After Party, which is VIP only, which we're going to give away a pass for here in a little bit. And it's going to be at the playground. It's the wrap party for Film Fest Tucson, which is going down, kicking off tonight. filmfesttucson.org, so you can get a rundown of all the special appearances, all the different screenings. I know Powers.
Yeah, I was going to say Powers is actually going to be introducing the Mickey Mouse documentary for us tonight. So yeah, so we're getting everybody involved, and then Powers is going to do the Q&A with Chris Gore for Attack of the Doc on Saturday.
Yeah, so Powers, tell me a little bit about this documentary. Did you watch this yesterday?
So I watched the Attack of the Doc documentary. It's all about G4 and the Attack of the Show. So if you remember G4, that's the video game channel. It was the best. I loved it. So watching the doc was really cool. I think it was definitely made during COVID. He had a lot of just interviews, but not a lot of film from the interviews, but a lot of good footage from G4 that matched up great. It was fun, very enjoyable. And really, it's the first time I ever saw Comic-Con. So being able to see that and talk to him about that, I think G4 was a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a really fun event too. And you got yourself a good host there, or Herb, because obviously with Disney and everything else, you're an expert on all this stuff.
Yeah. And then also later today, my man Dave Fitzsimmons is hanging out, and he's going to be introducing Bill Plimpton, who's an amazing animator. And I'm looking forward to that, like more than anything.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, Bill Plimpton is amazing. He's been nominated for 2 Academy Awards. He's the guy that hand draws everything still. He's done 8 of the Simpsons couch gags, which are the opening segment of the Simpsons episodes. Because he's known Matt Groening since Matt was like 14 years old. So they've been friends for a long time. So so basically Plimpton is here for 2 things. He's doing one with Fitzsimmons tonight. And then tomorrow on Saturday, he's doing a thing with me where he's going to show excerpts from his new feature-length film called Slide, which is set in the West. And it's a really cool thing. We've got a couple of minutes of newly colored and hand-drawn stuff. So yeah, a lot of great guests here with us this weekend.
Yeah, biggest and best yet, and it's still growing each and every year. Film Fest Tucson and filmfesttucson.org. I do want to give away these tickets. So Herb was kind enough to give us a pair of VIP passes that we'll give away. We'll call them, assuming, right?
Yeah.
Because we didn't go through the system. All right. And the way that I like to give away tickets, as you know, is I like to play a game. 600 KFMA, 600-5362. Here's the deal. I have Carlin and Powers in studio. Of course, Carlin is Powers' lifelong friend. And I got Efren Ramirez and Herb Stratford. Herb Stratford tells people that Efren Ramirez is his lifelong friend. So I'm going to have them team up and both play against each other. All I need is callers to call in and pick a team. All right, so we're gonna say Team Pedro or Team Powers. All right, so we'll start off with caller 10. So yeah, we'll go ahead and share a microphone there. And so here's how the name game is played. It's basically a game that I designed for her because he's so good at this. It's name dropping. I'm going to give you a first name, and you guys are going to go back and forth giving celebrity last names. Okay? So you give me the last name to that first name. You'll go back and forth. Whoever gets the last name in within 30 seconds wins the round. Best of 3 rounds wins for their respective team or whoever's playing for them. So let's go to the phones, see who the first caller is. Rock 1, 2.1. Who's this?
This is Dave.
Dave. All right, Dave. I'll let you pick the team, Dave. Do you want Team Pedro or Team Powers?
I'm going with Team Powers.
All right, Dave is going Team Powers.
Home team.
Yeah, all right. So
Sure you will.
yeah. All right, you're going down, Dave. Let's see who is gonna take Team Pedro. Rock 1, 2.1. What's your name?
Gary.
All right, Gary. Gary, you're gonna be on Team Pedro. Okay, so it's all about for this VIP passes for the after party happening at the playground. Okay. All right, so here we go. 30 seconds on the clock. We'll begin with a Team Pedro on this one. And I guess we'll start off with Efren, and then you go Powers, and then Herb, and then Carlin. Okay, in that order. Here we go. 30 seconds on the clock will begin when I finish giving you this first name. Efren, the first name is Tom, and go.
Thanks.
Tom Hanks.
Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Helfrey.
Helfried. Okay, nerd. All right.
Hiddleston.
Hiddleston. Yeah, that's good.
Clancy.
Yeah.
Jones.
Okay.
Tom Jones.
Yeah, he's in Mars Attacks. He's amazing.
Tom Jones is a singer too.
See, I'm doing it. Did we say Hiddleston already?
Yes.
Yes. Don't choke for Efren.
I know I am. I'm choking on.
Oh, ran out of time.
It's pressure, man.
Did you even say Hanks? All right.
Yeah, no, Hanks was the. Oh, it was Cruz and Hanks were the first.
Yeah, Cruz and Hanks. You know, there was a
The
lot of
most
different
obvious
Toms.
Tom.
Yes.
And Tom Pelfrey is an actor. I'm sorry. That was legit.
Okay. Yeah, I know. But only a film critic would name drop. Who? Carlin, you know who it is too? Yeah, that's cool. All right. Here we go. Next category. 30 seconds on the clock. We'll begin with Team Powers. Powers, you'll go ahead and start this one off. All right. The name that you have is Mike. Ready, Mike, and go.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers, okay? Efren.
The other Mike Myers.
Oh, yeah, exactly. All right, Carlin.
Michael Jackson.
Yep. All right.
Michael Douglas.
All right. Powers.
Michael Bublé.
Okay. Efren.
Microphone.
You got this, Efren.
Mike.
You've worked with Mikes.
Oh, Michael Pena.
There you go. There you go. Last second. Yes. Michael Pena is an amazing actor, and you're getting stumped.
We're good.
All right. So it's all tied up. All right.
It is.
So all tied up. So whoever wins this last round will win tickets for their prospective teammates. We got Dave and Gary on the line. We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna go female. We'll start off with Herb on this one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 30 seconds on the clock. First name is Sarah. Go.
Jessica Parker.
That's right. All right, Carlin.
Sarah Paulson.
Okay. Efren.
Hey, that was my choice. Sarah.
Sarah's not in the room right now, is she?
Sarah Wilson.
Beats
a
me.
tough one.
I'd have to Google that.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, there it is. Dave, you actually made the correct pick as Powers and Carlin just beat Team Pedro. Congratulations, Dave. You're going to the VIP after party at the playground for the wrap. And then you're going to listen to some great music provided by DJ Efren Ramirez himself. You excited?
Microphone.
Yes.
Like our phone.
Yeah, microphone. That was a good answer, unfortunately.
That's my new stage name. I love it.
All right, stay on the line. I'm going to get your info, Dave. All right, let's hit the reset. We'll keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. More with this crew next on Beef Vegan Presents. All right, I'm going to get Dave's information, guys. Earlier this morning, we did another round of the Morning Moron. It was a doozy. It was a really good one, actually. And in case you missed it, well, you're in store.
You didn't anymore.
Yeah, I got it. Let's see. I thought I had it more set up, more smooth, but it went a little something like this. Check it out. right. It's now 6:15. Time for your morning one. Let's do this. All right, this one's a doozy. A man from Green Bay is facing up to 10 years in prison after allegedly stealing from his very own mother.
Oh.
To top it off, she has Alzheimer's, right?
Oh.
Yeah. According to the criminal report obtained by Local 5, the 53-year-old dude named William was charged with stealing from his own mother, and it said that a man was taking very large amounts of money from his mom and his mother's bank accounts, right?
Mhm.
It totaled around $10,000. Actually, I'm sorry. When it's all added up over the past few years, $17,500.
Oh.
A ton of money. So money was allegedly being taken from the mother's account using PayPal and getting spent on AsianDating.com.
Oh, AsianDating.com. again.
Yeah. It was William's sister who spoke with authorities about the incident over the alleged theft. Bank statements showed that there was a down payment for a Dargan's truck totaling $3,700. The complaint also said that William's sister talked to him about a $580 check drawn from his mother's account, made to an attorney that was out of state. And it's weird that he's paying an attorney out of state, but it's because he started having relationships, or what he thought was relationships in his mind, with women that he met on AsianDating.com. They were essentially like duping him into thinking that he was in a relationship, very OnlyFans style, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it gets weirder. Now, an additional $3,000 of his mother's money was allegedly spent on his train hobby, right? So he was into Asian prostitutes and model trains.
Yeah, well.
Yes, and 53 years old, again, single and just ciphering money from his mom. There were reportedly multiple PayPal charges on his mother's account, which totaled a grand total of $17,500. The sister said William could not provide an explanation for the PayPal charges, but did show off his girlfriend's picture. Like, look at this pretty girl. This is my girlfriend. Oh, cool. That's a nice picture of her. Do you have any other pictures? He's like, yeah, look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this one. Oh, nice. Okay, what about a picture with you and her? Oh, no. I don't have one of those.
No.
Yeah, this is my girlfriend. Anyways, he spent the stolen money on model trains and dating websites, so he's definitely being charged with loserdom in the first degree. And as far as using AsianDating.com, this morning moron was so stupid, he should have just used the website OK Stupid. And it's a fantastic spot for morons.
Yes.
Let the reset be right back. Speed Vegan Presents. Let's go to the streamers. I'm sure they got a suggestion. So Efren's still trying to figure out another famous Sarah. So if you guys have a good Sarah, did I throw trash just on the floor?
On the floor, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. Thanks for cleaning that up, Efren.
Of course.
My Hollywood guest picking up after me.
Yeah, he's gonna go back to Hollywood and be like, "Oh, Tucson, man, those guys throw stuff on the floor. And they're making dick jokes all the time."
Yes. Welcome to Small Market Radio. But so Efren's still trying to think of another famous Sarah. So if you guys can think of another famous Sarah, and then you want Machine Head tickets for December, I'll hook you up. And you just email me if the first person with the good. Oh, yeah, Manny's got it. Sarah Jean Underwood. No,
Sergi Underwood.
not famous enough.
Yeah,
Sergi Underwood.
we can look her up.
Here, all right. Look for a famous Sarah that wasn't mentioned.
Silverman.
Oh, Sarah Silverman. Thank you,
That's a
weirdo.
good one.
Yeah,
man.
come on, Sarah Silverman. You ever party with Sarah Silverman, Efren?
Yeah, my friend Lydia Hurst and Chris Hardwick got married,
Yeah.
and I was and I sat down with Michael Sheen and when he was dating Sarah Silverman.
Nice.
They were cool. She was nice. She's really, really friendly.
She's a naturally funny person too, so it's not like she just does her bits. It's just the things in conversation. Naturally, she's gonna crack you up, right?
Yeah.
And super warm and all that. Was she a fan of the film? Did you get, when you were obviously going there? Who was the most surprising Hollywood star that fanboyed out on you? You're like, whoa.
I can tell you right away. Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Watched Napoleon Dynamite and loved it.
Yeah, he had it was just some premiere. It was War of the Worlds.
Okay.
And so we all come out, and he's got a Vote for Pedro button on his jacket. And I'm like, and he goes, "Ah, yes, you're Pedro." I'm like, "Ah, yes, don't eat me." It was nice. It was nice to be able to be with him, or or even at the Sundance Film Festival, sitting down with Steve Buscemi to my right and Daniel Day-Lewis to my left, and just talking about the work, and
Right.
they knew about Napoleon Dynamite, and I felt like, wow, dude, really cool.
Well, even like thespians like them, they have to appreciate the greatness of Napoleon Dynamite, which again still is just like it comes out of left field. You don't expect it. And even you're going in as just a viewer, you think every other minute, as first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you're like, this is gonna be bad. Is this gonna be bad? What's happening here? Why am I enjoying this so much? When's it gonna turn? And it doesn't, and then you're like flabbergasted at the end, being like, oh my God. So it was a shock in a way that it didn't intend to shock. It wasn't like jump scare shocks or anything that was like cheap shocks.
Well, yeah, I gotta tell you, it's like even as we do the tour after 18 years, we stick around to see bits and parts of the movie, but you could hear the audience quoting the film as it plays.
Right.
And that's so awesome to see.
Yeah. It's weird. It's almost in the same category of like a Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
It just has this, timelessness to it. And obviously this is something that a majority of actors would love to have an opportunity to be in a film that's timeless. And this was your first major film, right? Which wasn't even a major film at the time.
Yeah.
So you knocked it out the park. So the bar was set super high. Were you thinking every song or every movie that you'd be in afterwards would be timeless as well?
It would have been nice. No, it's just I had worked on a show called Even Stevens, and I did Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal.
Right.
So it's like, you never know what happens in the results of these projects that you do. My job as an artist, as an actor, is to be able to do a play and then jump onto a film or a TV show. And you do the best you can in telling that story, and you go, what's the moral of the story? And then there's gonna be an audience for every project you do.
Right.
So you just hope that they go along for the ride and really enjoy that experience with you.
Right. Yeah. And when you were sitting in between Ben Kingsley and the greatest actor of all time, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh yeah. Buscemi and
Buscemi, yeah.
Buscemi and then Day-Lewis. I was like, yeah, that's Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, did you just try to lean against him just so you get a little Daniel Day-Lewis like rubbing off on you, like just a little bit? Because I mean, honestly, when someone goes method, I think Daniel Day-Lewis is the golden standard for a method actor. Am I wrong on this? And the reputation of Daniel Day-Lewis?
It's dedication. It truly is. It's discipline. And it's the creative enjoyment that we all get as artists. And there's another appreciation that I got, which was we're all human. We're trying to tell this best stories possible, and it was that very moment when Catherine Keener came up to us. She's like, "Oh my God, dance with me!" I'm like, "Holy bananas!" It's like she's amazing too. But so many throughout after Napoleon Dynamite, I've met so many artists, so many people who are just people are as much as dark as the world can be. There are people who lead with love. There are people who lead with hope, and it starts with you. You can enjoy and live a good life by being generous, by being kind. And I look, I did this independent film and no one knew who I was. And, I'm still learning and growing as an artist. So to be able to walk around the planet and just learn something new from anybody, that's what an opportunity. And I'm grateful. And here I am. Now I'm going to be DJing at this film festival and let's see what happens there.
Yeah. And then hanging out with a guy named Beef Vegan.
You know it.
Never know what life's going to bring your way. If there's one character, whether it's a real life person or a fictional character that you would love to play someday in your career, who would that be?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would have said, Luis Guzman is playing, Wednesday's dad, in the Addams Family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, but you could have pulled off Gomez.
Maybe when I'm older.
Right.
But I mean, I love Luis Guzman. He's amazing. I love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what's Tim Burton with Wednesday and all that. I guess Emiliano Zapata would be another choice too.
Oh, look at you! You popped the room here.
Yeah.
Both Carlin and Herb was like,
I will give you guys a nobody really knows this. I was attesting for. They're making the life of the Aztec king Moctezuma, and they're going to make a whole series about that. With Javier Bardem playing Hernan Cortez. So, and I was going to go down to Mexico and test with him, but right as that moment happened, COVID hit.
Oh man.
So they just canceled everything. And
Ah.
I would have been the Aztec King of Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would've been amazing.
You know?
And you know what?
Oh,
And that
yeah.
when you think about it, like we haven't seen. I mean, I think about like Apocalypto. You know what I mean? You don't see
yeah.
a lot of iconic sort of Aztec or Mesoamerican stories. So
Yeah.
how cool would that be to see? Because that history is so fascinating. And now with technology, we could actually do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could show
Yeah.
those cities. We could do that. I hope that happens again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's like I go, all right, you know, but the fact that these stories are coming about, I'm like, what's next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think there's a lot of focus on that culture and that history. So I could see that project being greenlit again, and hopefully in the near future, you get another opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic.
That or some astronaut.
You're
Yeah,
an
yeah.
astronaut. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Either
I like
way.
playing unique characters that lead different lives,
Yeah.
challenging lives.
What's the worst location that you've been in where you're like, you sign up for a project and you're like, man, it sucks here?
Oh, so many jokes. Gosh, I can't say that there has been a worse location. Even theater, you know, when I do theater sometimes, you know, even before Napoleon Dynamite, you have these small houses and you got 8 people as audience and you got a tiny closet for a dressing room. The show must go on. He's like, that was my life,
Yeah.
you know.
That's my life.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, but that's just what where I came from. You know, I came from East LA. I came from the projects. So to me, being able to do what I do and get paid for doing what I love to do, I'm utterly grateful in all honesty. You know, so
Yeah. East LA in the 90s. What was the set that dominated your neighborhood?
the set.
Yeah, the gang.
Oh, I was like this, like a movie set. They'll show up, and it was always like a homemade cop thing.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Sweet," you know. And maybe that's how I got into acting too. Because I know David Hasselhoff was doing what was the thing with the car? Night
Knight
Rider.
Rider. Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing Night Rider in my neighborhood, and it was like, yo, yeah. I'm like, and it so happened to be the night where I had the flu, so all my brothers went out and checked out the set, and it was cool. And I went, wow, I'm never gonna meet Kit. You know?
Did you eventually meet Kit?
No,
Oh,
no.
that's right.
You know, and so my father, you know, to make up for it, he took my brother and me to go at Universal Studios go meet Starscream as a Transformer, like some dude dressed up as Starscream.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not the same thing.
I met Kid at a Comic-Con once. He's a real dick and charges far too much for autographs.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's
He
right.
doesn't have fingers, so it's hard for him to sign.
He
Right.
doesn't transform into a robot either, right?
Yeah.
Not
So-
even a little bit. Just
Yeah.
a smug Britishy man.
Yes. All right. And so, oh yes. All right. Well, have you ever driven a Tesla? Because that's the same thing nowadays. You know, everyone has kits.
I have a genuine question I ask.
Yeah, go for it.
So you're talking about like when you got to hang out and whenever you're doing Napoleon Dynamite stuff, it's fun. It's like a brotherhood. When you did the animated show, right?
Yeah.
Did you all record together? Did you get to do that? Did you record separate?
Well, that was a great, you know, when you do an animated series, as you know, it's like you're working for the audience. You're working, you know, by yourself with a director who's giving you notes, and you either go up with the voice or go down with the voice and all that. But when we all worked on Napoleon Dynamite, not only did we work with the original cast, but we were able to go into this big room and record together. So we were able to riff off each other, and that was a wonderful experience, you know. And yeah, look, I gotta say, they gave us the options to either go like during the fall time or be in the new year. I thought, let's go in October because that's even better, right? But they said otherwise. They wanted to do a new year, and I'm like, we're competing against the Oscars and the Golden Globes and the Super Bowl, and it was hard, you know. And you know, when you do an animated series, you really got to find your audience, you know. And that's and we're up with, you know, right along with Family Guy and American Dad. So
Which is
Yeah.
super crude, and Napoleon
Yeah.
Dynamite's still the opposite of that.
correct.
Yeah. You know, but I'm sure it will hold up over time as well. I mean, so many projects came from this, and what a great like life experience, and led to so many great opportunities. So I appreciate you coming in, and hanging out with us, and Herb. I appreciate you bringing Efren in. I appreciate you coming in. We're going to be wrapping things up on air. Thank you guys for watching the stream, and don't forget that this film fest Tucson is happening all weekend long. So you guys can go today. There's going to be free screenings. There's going to be other screenings that you can pay for, I believe. And filmfesttucson.org to get all the information, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Right.
it's like $10 tickets to movies. And I mean, it's cheaper than the multiplex.
Hell yeah, it is. But you don't have IMAX, so that's why.
That's true.
Yeah. That's good. All right, here we go. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Are any of the films at the Fox Theater as well?
No, not this year.
Okay.
2 years ago or 19 when we did, we had Peter Bogdanovich here and we ran a couple films over there. We ran The Laundromat and we ran Marriage Story actually. But no, the Fox was booked up this weekend. And you know what? We're this first year back after a couple years off. We're like, we didn't want to go crazy and be at like 9 screens. You know what I mean? So we're Scottish Rite. We're outside on the lawn of the Children's Museum for free, and we're at Main Gate Square as well for free.
There you go. That's Film Fest Tucson, filmfesttucson.org. All the information. You guys want to entertain yourselves, and if you're a fan of movies, and I know you are, make sure that you check out the website at the very least. Make your plans to head out there. Maybe even make your way to the VIP of Rap event afterwards if you can. At the playground. Efren Ramirez, thank you so much for coming into the studio. You're awesome. Have a great set on Saturday. I appreciate you coming back to Tucson, and we look forward to seeing you again, whether it's in person or another great project. All you guys, thank you so much for listening. We are wrapping it up right now. We got to make way for Robin Nash. But again, just reminding you a couple things. Next week, I'll have another concert announcement with tickets giveaway. It's Thunder Bacon Burger Company's year anniversary this weekend. So Sunday, you'll get the 520 burger for $5.20 from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Make sure you stop by and support our boy Lindy at Thunder Bacon Burger Company on 4th Avenue. And of course, our other boy, Herb Stratford. Even though we give him crap, we love the dude. And filmfesttucson.org is a fantastic organization bringing a lot of culture to this city. So make sure you check out the website, make plans to head on down there this weekend and treat yourself. Till then, Robin Nash is up next. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. As always, drive safe, ride safe, and rock local. Later.
When you
Thanks, guys.
upon a side of beef, soon will come an end to all your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.